The stalemates have ended. Trey Hendrickson and Terry McLaurin on the same day signed new contracts with their team. Terry McLaurin, 3-year deal. He is not going anywhere. He's staying with Jaden Daniels. Trey Hendrickson, though, got his deal done. He will play in 2025, but he will be a free agent after the season. But now we have one more contract situation looming over us, and that is Micah Parsons in Dallas. I'm not sure what's going to happen there, but maybe we get some momentum going with these other deals.
We might. I mean, Spence and Giselle, it is. I kid you not. I did not think Hendrickson was ever going to get signed. But hey, man, I guess, man, hey, sometimes, man, it sucks not getting paid. And guess what? Getting paid for 1 year is better than getting paid for no years. And finally, hey, man, the Bengals, after all the backlash they've gotten about not paying players, hey, they've stepped up now. They did what everyone's crucified them for. They paid Higgins, Chase, now Hendrickson, and they signed their first round pick, Shamar Stewart. So, all right, Cincinnati. Hey, now for the players, it's time to buck up now, because if you play as as horrible as you did on the defensive side and don't give Joe Burrow a playoff shot or an MVP shot, we're wasting our time, Giselle.
I think with the Bengals signing Trey, that's a really, really good sign for Bengals fans and just the Bengal franchise as a whole. The Bengals were just shy of just making it out with the AFC, and we all remember how that was. And Joe Burrow had a hell of a season. If you had him as your fantasy QB like I did, he went off more times than not. But I think that this is a really good sign that the Bengals could go back to the Super Bowl this year alone. Fellas?
Oh,
That's
Spence.
cool. Look, here's my thing. First off, I'll address both of y'all's points. I don't want to let the Bengals off the hook too much, though, for this Trey Hendrickson deal, just because them only giving him this season the money for this year and not extending him and giving him more years, it just reeks of just they really don't value him. They're just kind of like, hey, man, like, just shut up and play. Like, what are we doing here? I hope he leaves them in the offseason. But to Giselle, your point, I think they're in the playoffs this year, but this video isn't about the Ravens, but man, I can't get off the Ravens this year. I think the Ravens have just such a stacked roster. I think Lamar is going to get it done this year. But back to the contracts. James, Terry McLaurin staying in division officially now. How does that make you feel as an Eagles fan?
Hey, man, it makes me feel just as proud as his stats were in the NFC Championship game against Quinyon Mitchell. At the end of the day, if he can't get past Quinyon Mitchell, I'm not worried about it. But I will say this. I'm glad, though, at least, the Terry McLaurin rumors now are gone about him getting traded, because, I could not imagine Jaden Daniels just throwing it to Debo all day. And I'll say it like this as well. Terry McLaurin getting his money now. Hopefully he's up to game speed by week 1, because I know a Giants team who oddly is undefeated in the preseason, doesn't mean much, but oddly is vibing. They could be catching the Commanders at the right time, and hey, Giants might steal game 1.
Wow. If Washington was a defense I targeted a lot in my fantasy drafts this weekend because of their week 1 matchup, I'm hoping the commies, they come out and they put a whooping on them. But Terry McLaurin doesn't play that side of the ball. He's locked down, but the last situation remaining is Dallas. And at this point, guys, I think about all of the contract disputes we've seen over recent years. It just feels like they all end up being much ado about nothing. They sit out OTAs, they sit out part of training camp. Then they either come to some kind of agreement the last week of the preseason to get warmed up, ready for football, or in some instances, they wait the day before and sign the contract then, like Dak Prescott did. Because quarterbacks, they already don't need to play that much anyways. I almost feel like, and I've kind of said this all along, I feel like that's exactly what's going to happen with Micah Parsons. And I even saw today, there was a clip of Jerry Jones and Micah Parsons' mom. They were exchanging pleasantries. They looked happy. The vibes were high there. And I really am starting to think that it really is this agent, David Mulligetta, who has a history of not being the most stand-up guy, being kind of a cutthroat negotiator. I think he has really been the cause for all this to be hung up. And I think something's going to happen, or maybe something has already happened and it's just not been announced yet. But I think Micah Parsons is going to get a deal done because That's just what happens. Contract disputes are fake.
Big time fake.
Contract disputes are fake, 100%. I mean, it
Fake.
has to be a little bit of realness here and there. I'm not going to say 100% fake, but I do think that they had to make headlines. They had to make it interesting. They had to sell the drama. That's all the Cowboys have right now. They don't have a winning streak. They're not making it far in the playoffs. They got to bring something. So they're bringing the drama. Instead of the Dallas Cowboys, it should be the Real Housewives of Dallas.
I'll say this, Giselle. There is one streak they do have, and it's 30 years they haven't been to an NFC Championship game. So we can keep it going at 31. I'll say it with you. I agree. I think Micah Parsons will get signed September 3rd, and that's the only headline rolling into NBC Thursday night against the Eagles, and then it'll be a blame game after that.
Yeah. But it's funny. That's going to happen. It's going to steal the headlines, but I'd still be shocked if he played heavy snaps in that week 1 game against the Eagles.
Yeah,
And
because
if that happens, then good luck, Cowboys. It was already an uphill battle for you against the defending champs. And if Michael Parsons is only playing like 30% of snaps because he's trying to get ramped back up to football shape, I'm glad y'all got all the headlines, but didn't help you out for football.
no, and even what Giselle said, like the soap opera, the Housewives of Dallas, like you saw what Micah was doing that 3rd preseason game. Street clothes, and he's laying on the bench, like, or I should say, really like a stretch mat. But
yeah, that was such a petty move. He knew what he was doing. He knew
Yeah.
the camera's going to be on him. When he walked in the stadium, there was that Falcons fan that was like, "Come to Atlanta," and he was like, "Have him call me.
Yep.
Call me. Hit my line. Hit my line." But y'all let us know in the comments. Will Micah Parsons follow in the footsteps of Trey Hendrickson and Terry McLaurin and get a deal done before the season starts? Let us know down below.